My next guest defends her strawweight title coming up here against Istela Nunes at One Championship Dynasty of Heroes on May 26th. Angela Lee joins me here on the program. Angela, how are you?
Hi, James. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
No problem. And I appreciate you doing this. If my listeners can't tell, you're a little bit under the weather, so I very much appreciate this. But let's talk about your last fight. You're coming off an impressive win over Jenny Huang, the first loss of her career, and you get the third round finish in that fight back in March. How happy were you with your performance in that fight?
I was really happy with that fight. I worked a lot on the stand-up aspect, and I was able to implement that in the fight. So, it couldn't have gone better. But this fight camp is going to be slightly different, working on some different things, but the result is going to be just the same.
Excellent. And we'll talk about that in just one sec. But that fight that you had there with Jenny was in Bangkok, Thailand. Did you get a chance to sort of spend any time in Thailand after the fight and get a little bit of vacation?
I did. I spent a couple days after the fight. I got to check out, the sights and eat the food. It was great. I had a blast.
Excellent. And what type of reception do you get in these cards? Because, I'm up here in Toronto, Canada, and, sort of in the North American MMA bubble. And I don't think fans realize how big MMA is in Asia. What type of reception do you get, for these fights?
It's totally blowing up over here. People wouldn't expect the amount of support and just how much people really love MMA over here. You have diehard MMA fans, and so that's really nice, especially in Thailand. They're such a fighting country, so they loved it, and I think I was received really well. So it's nice to have all that support.
I've talked to Bibiano Fernandez, who's a champion for One as well, and he just tells me that, he kind of gets the red carpet rolled out for him when he goes to these events. Do you have the same sort of experience being a champion for One FC?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with him on that. It's a really unique experience, and it makes the job just that much sweeter. It really does.
Awesome. And that fight was in March. This fight here is in May. Is this the type of schedule you'd like, fighting every couple months, or would you rather have a little bit more time off?
Ideally, it's really nice to be able to fight back to back, just so that, the training is just keep going nonstop with the fight camps. But who knows? It's all up to One Championship to see if they're going to put me in again. But next up is May 26th.
Absolutely. And let's talk about that. Estela Nunes, 6-0, another undefeated fighter. How do you feel like you match up against her?
I think this is a really great fight for me. I'm very excited for this one. Estella, she's a good striker, Muay Thai world champion and such, and also undefeated. So, I know she's going to be confident coming into this fight. I know she's training really hard, but so am I. And, I know exactly what I want to do in this fight, where I'm going to take it, and it's just a matter of executing my game plan on fight night.
Fantastic. And you mentioned changing some things up in your training camp. What were some of the things you implemented this time around?
This time around, I got to spend a lot of time training at home in Hawaii with my dad and my head coach. And so we really, it's really nice just to have the whole family around, but also the game plan, not to give anything away, but I like to see myself as not just a one-dimensional fighter. I'm a mixed martial arts fighter, the up-and-coming generation where, we're not just one individual style. I'm not just a Muay Thai fighter or a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu grappler. So I'm really looking to, in all of my fights, really showcase my MMA skills. And, that's what I'm looking to do in this fight.
Awesome. And the fight's a couple weeks away. How's the weight cut going? Has that process started already?
Yes, it has begun. The weight's going good so far. Because I fought in March, it kind of just carried over. So everything's been, going good, and the descent has been just perfect.
And what are some of your go-to meals during fight camp when you're trying to cut weight? Is it a lot of like chicken and broccoli, a lot of like boring meals, things like that?
I try to mix it up. I like fish, so I'll try to change it up with like salmon or whitefish, maybe sea bass or something like that. But yeah, for the most part, chicken breast is usually a good go-to.
So on the flip side, what's sort of your favorite cheat meal that you're looking forward to having after the fight? Everyone's got their vice, whether it's like pizza or ice cream. Do you have anything like that?
Usually, I'm a huge steak fan.
Okay.
So I love steaks, but this time around, I'm really looking forward to like a big, juicy burger. I'm just really craving a cheeseburger.
Awesome. May 26th, what's your prediction? How do you see this fight unfolding?
I see this fight definitely, ending in the early rounds. I do not see it going the distance. I think that me and Estella, we're both very explosive fighters. It's going to be an exciting one. So, but yeah, I'm definitely looking to get the finish.
I know you're not looking past your opponent here, but do you have any idea what's next after this fight? Has one sort of give you an indication on an opponent or a potential date after this?
No, my focus is entirely on my next fight, my next opponent. So, which is Stella. I don't really like to look too far ahead. Just focus on the task at hand, and once this is over with, then we can move on to the next one.
And I mentioned it earlier, being treated like a rock star in ONE FC, you're really sort of one of the faces of the organization. But is the UFC ever something you're looking at, down the line? I know you're still really young in your career, but I imagine that's where you want to end up at some point.
You know what? Right now, I couldn't be happier in the organization I'm in. ONE Championship has treated me so well, and I'm really happy to be just a part of that organization and growing with them. I am very young in my career, so I feel like I'm just getting started. But it's hard to say where I end up. I just know that right now I'm very, very happy with where I'm at.
Fantastic. Now, you and I have something in common. You and I are both born in Vancouver, and I saw you were there in December. You did an interview with my good buddy, Jeremy Brand. How often do you go back to Canada and, visit family?
Usually it's maybe every couple of years. I love Canada. It still has a really, soft spot for me in my heart. So going back in December to visit family for Christmas was just wonderful. It was great to get a change with the cold weather.
Yes, no, for sure. It can get a little cold, especially up in certain areas. Do you consider yourself Canadian at all, or is it just because you've kind of been raised in the United States? Do you consider yourself American?
It's hard. I can't really say I'm associated with just one place because I was born in Canada and I was there till I was 7 years old. So I remember going to elementary school and everything. So part of me, is still Canadian. Like when I came to Hawaii, there was a lot of things that I said in the way I talked and everything, and people didn't get it. I didn't even know the Pledge of Allegiance when I came to Hawaii.
Interesting.
So, but being raised in Hawaii from elementary school onward, obviously has a very big impact in my life as well. So I'd say I'm a mix of both. I don't know.
No, fair enough. Any idea when you'll be back in Canada? I guess closer to Christmas time, I guess you just kind of wait and see what your schedule looks like.
Yeah, it's really hard to plan things out just because of so much traveling and everything. But I definitely want to come back and visit for sure.
Excellent. Just got a couple more questions for you here. We've talked all about your fight career and everything like that, but what do you like getting up to on your downtime when you're not in the gym training? Hawaii is obviously a beautiful place. I imagine you get outdoors a lot.
Yeah, I love going to the beach. It's definitely a great way to relax and unwind. I like to do outdoorsy stuff, hiking, eating. I love trying new food, and I'll research new places to eat and try it out. Obviously here in Hawaii, I'm with my family, so family time is huge. And yeah.
My last question for you here, are you a Netflix watcher? Do you watch Netflix at all?
Actually, I don't really watch too much TV,
okay,
but every once in a while, on the weekends or something, yeah, I'll try and search up a movie on Netflix.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So I'm going to put you on the spot here. What was the last thing you watched? What was the most memorable thing you've watched recently on Netflix? If I went under continue watching on your account, what would it say?
Oh my God. What was it?
See,
I don't even remember.
I asked the hard-hitting questions here, so.
Yeah, it's out of all your questions, this is the one that stumped me. Um, Shoot. Well, it wasn't on Netflix, but it was. I watched Bleed for this. Yeah, and that one was really good with Vinny Panzienzo. He's very inspiring. I just loved watching that movie. Really fired me up.
Excellent. Good stuff. Well, we're certainly looking forward to this fight. One Championship, Dynasty of Heroes, May 26th. If you live in North America, Flow Combat is actually going to be streaming the fights, so definitely check that out on the website. Angela, can't thank you enough for joining me here. Where can people find you on social media? And if you got any thank yous or sponsors, the floor is yours. Take your time. I want to make sure you get paid here.
All right. Well, you guys can follow me on Instagram. That's where I usually am the most. Angela Lee MMA. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. Unstoppable_Lee. My sponsors, my huge sponsors are my gyms. So United MMA in Hawaii, Evolve MMA in Singapore, and Venom. And yeah, I just want to thank you all for listening and for supporting me. You guys are the best.